Intro to the Polaris explosion. As we converse, the night sky is undergoing drastic transformations that will alter its appearance within decades or even years. Leading experts and astronomers worldwide have sounded the alarm, with figures like Neil deGrasse Tyson warning that Polaris is about to undergo a significant change. The event behind this change is deeply concerning. Polaris' unique position in the night sky has made it a key marker as the North Star, serving as a constant reference for astronomers, navigators, and stargazers throughout history. Yet this stability may soon be disrupted, potentially reshaping both the night sky and the astronomical measurements we rely on. Let's dive into the gravity of this threat and explore its consequences for us all. Understanding Polaris and its history. To understand this, it's important to look at the history of Polaris, which is now in its final stages. Polaris has long been revered as the guiding star, a beacon for astronomers and navigators over the ages. Its consistent presence in the sky has been fundamental to celestial navigation. But all of this could suddenly change. A recent study published by the esteemed Royal Astronomical Society in September 2023 has raised serious doubts about the star's future. Polaris is on the verge of an explosion that could remove it from the night sky permanently. Before we explore the implications of this discovery, let's take a closer look at the star itself. Is Polaris, and why is it important? Polaris, also known as the North Star, holds a distinct position in the sky due to its close proximity to the celestial North Pole. It is positioned almost directly above Earth's North Pole, which makes it appear motionless in the northern sky. The star resides within the constellation Ursa Minor. Polaris is a moderately bright yellow-white supergiant star, much larger than our Sun. While it may seem like a solitary star, it is actually part of a complex triple star system. Within this system, the main stars are Polaris AA and Polaris AB, which when viewed with the naked eye appear as a single star. Additionally, there is a third companion, Polaris B, orbiting around the binary pair. The gravitational forces between these stars shape their orbits and affect their individual behaviors, which in turn impact their brightness and other significant traits. Any disturbance in these interactions can lead to irregular changes in the star's luminosity or pulsation pattern. Although the precise details of these phenomena are not fully understood, they have drawn increasing concern. Polaris is situated approximately 323 light-years from Earth. This means that the light we see from it today was emitted 323 years ago. If Polaris were to explode today, we wouldn't know about it until 323 years later. Thus, when we finally observe such an event, over 3 centuries would have passed since it actually occurred. A star exhibiting unusual behavior. Historically, the North Star has held great significance across civilizations and eras. It has served cultural, symbolic, and navigational purposes. Its unchanging position near the celestial North Pole has made it an essential tool for ancient mariners and travelers, guiding them across seas and lands. Recently, however, this star has exhibited unusual behavior. This troubling alteration in its pulsation cycle has drawn the attention of astronomers, prompting further investigations into this celestial anomaly. Rather than following its expected pulsation pattern, Polaris has shown an unpredictable and erratic cycle of dimming and brightening. This variation has sparked concerns among scientists who fear the star may be nearing the end of its life. The increasing irregularity in Polaris pulsation intervals, once stable, might be due to interactions between the star and its companion system. Although these stars appear as one, they are influenced by each other's gravitational forces. There has been a noticeable rise in pulsation duration, about 4.5 seconds longer. While this might seem trivial, it carries significant implications. Some astronomers cautiously speculate that gravitational forces between the stars could explain these fluctuations in the star's atmospheric behavior, thus affecting its pulsation patterns. However, other scientists remain firm in their belief that the star is nearing an explosive end. Comparisons to Betelgeuse, a similar fate. Their suspicion is fueled by the growing similarities between Polaris behavior and that of Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse, another prominent star in the Orion constellation, has displayed irregularities in its brightness, leading to concerns that it might explode imminently. Several experts have warned that Betelgeuse's end is inevitable, pointing to its erratic brightness and behavioral traits typical of stars in the final stages of their existence. NASA, drawn by the anomalies in Betelgeuse's behavior, has shown considerable interest in monitoring the star. However, NASA has not indicated a similar level of concern about Polaris despite its troubling behavior. The stellar life cycle and what happens next. Stars typically undergo an extensive journey through various evolutionary stages. In their early years, These stars are relatively dim and cool. As they mature, they enter the main sequence phase where nuclear fusion occurs, maintaining stability for billions of years. When their hydrogen fuel runs out, they enter the red giant phase, rapidly increasing in both temperature and brightness. This phase culminates in a catastrophic explosion such as a supernova. If Polaris were to undergo a supernova, it would be a spectacular event in the sky. The star would become incredibly bright, potentially outshining the Moon, and becoming one of the most brilliant objects visible in the night sky. This luminous display could last for days, weeks, or even months. The star's appearance would change drastically, transforming into an intensely bright object, possibly exhibiting different colors before eventually fading. As for the safety of our planet, we are in no immediate danger. Given the size and distance of Polaris, it is highly unlikely that Earth would be affected by a stellar explosion. While a Polaris supernova may not be as dramatic as Betelgeuse's potential eruption, it could still be visible to the naked eye for an extended period and outshine nearby stars. Final thoughts: the ever-changing night sky. Though Polaris has been a constant in the sky for countless generations, its eventual fate is a reminder of the dynamic nature of the universe. The stars we see in the sky are not permanent fixtures, they are constantly evolving, and their lifespans can end in dramatic ways. Whether Polaris explodes in a brilliant supernova or fades from view gradually, its disappearance will mark the end of an era. Astronomers and scientists are now carefully monitoring the star's movements and behavior, hoping to gather as much data as possible before any drastic changes occur. While Polaris may still shine for centuries, its observed irregularities suggest that its final moments may already be in motion. As the night sky continues to evolve, the disappearance of Polaris will remind us of the ever-changing cosmos. The stars that once seemed constant are in fact in a perpetual state of transformation. And as we look to the future, perhaps a new North Star will emerge, one that will guide future generations just as Polaris has for millennia. For centuries, Polaris has served as the ultimate reference point for celestial navigation. Sailors, explorers, and astronomers have relied on its fixed position near the celestial North Pole to determine direction and latitude. However, if Polaris were to disappear, it would force us to rethink how we navigate the night sky. Modern technology, including GPS and advanced astronomical calculations, has lessened our reliance on the North Star. Still, Polaris' symbolic and historical importance cannot be understated. If Polaris were to fade or explode, astronomers would likely identify a new North Star, a bright star near the celestial North Pole that could serve as a replacement. One candidate for this role is Gamma Cephei Eris, a star in the constellation Cepheus, which will move closer to the celestial North Pole due to Earth's axial precession. However, this transition would take thousands of years, meaning that for the foreseeable future Polaris remains our most recognizable guiding star. Polaris in mythology and culture. Beyond its navigational significance, Polaris has held deep cultural and symbolic meaning throughout human history. In ancient Chinese astronomy, Polaris was seen as the emperor star, a symbol of stability and cosmic order. In Norse mythology, it was linked to the world tree Yggdrasil, which held the universe together. Many indigenous cultures viewed Polaris as a guiding spirit leading lost travelers back home. The potential loss of Polaris, whether through a supernova or gradual dimming, would not only mark a scientific shift but also a symbolic one. The idea of a constant star has been ingrained in human culture for millennia, and its disappearance would remind us of the impermanence of even the most seemingly unchanging things. Astronomical lessons from Polaris fate. The study of Polaris' irregular pulsations and potential supernova event provides astronomers with valuable data about the life cycle of massive stars.